Muy buenas a todos, gente, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? Aquí Manu con el canal y estamos en Diablo 4 y vamos a reaccionar a un gameplay de una guía de las mazmorras y los distintos poderes que hay, ¿vale? Así que vamos a ello.
What's up, world? Welcome to episode 4 of our Game Guide series. This time around, we're going to take a deep dive into the dungeon systems as well as the Codex of Power. Dungeons are a critical part to Diablo 4's content, ranging from progressing the campaign story and side quest adventures to loot and legendary powers upon completion. There are over 100 dungeons scattered throughout the world. Yes, you heard that right. There are literally over 100 dungeons in the game. Take a look at this map of Fractured Peaks, the first area in the game. Each gate-looking icon represents a dungeon. There's 23 of them in just this area alone. Needless to say, you got your work cut out for you. When you enter a dungeon, you can guarantee that you'll be able to complete it without a single interruption. Once you're in, no loading portals from start to finish. You may want to think twice before grabbing that Dorito right before that boss encounter, or you'll be sorry you did, as the entire experience is seamless. Also, the game uses tile set transition scenes, which connects multiple tile sets together to make dungeons feel like their own little world. Dungeons are randomly generated within a range of tile sets. This means doing a specific dungeon multiple times will look a little different, but keep the same atmosphere and a layout that remains familiar to you. The ones you will find in Fractured Peaks will also look different than dungeons in other regions, and they take on the vibe of the visuals to the monsters you face. Keep in mind that some dungeons can't be found until you tackle a stronghold in that area. Shrines are like mini power-ups you can receive upon touching them and can be found in the open world as well as in dungeons. They last for 30 seconds and grant you movement speed by default. Artillery Shrine is one of my personal favorites. It increases attack speed substantially while summoning holy arrows that shoot out forward and impaling your enemies. The Blast Wave Shrine summons a large explosion around you periodically, practically turning you into a human supernova that deals massive damage. The Channeling Shrine reduces all resource costs to 0 while reducing your cooldowns. You were wanting to spam your favorite core skill, right? The Conduit Shrine turns you into a lightning storm that zaps everything nearby, while also granting you the ability to teleport a short distance when you target an enemy. They'll never see you coming. The Grease Shrine makes enemies pop out gold when you hit them, while also increasing your pickup radius. The Lethal Shrine makes all direct attacks critically hit and deal more damage. Bigger numbers? Yes please. And the Protection Shrine makes you invulnerable and unstoppable. But before you start grabbing all the shrines you can see, there is something you should know. Sometimes a shrine can be cursed. When you touch it, you won't get the effect. Instead, you'll get ambushed by monsters in this new event. Don't worry though. Once you push back the resistance and clear the event, you'll be rewarded with not only the shrine itself, but also a radiant chest that includes lots of goodies. As you are adventuring through a dungeon, you will face many challenges. Each dungeon has you take on 2 to 3 tasks that are necessary before completing the dungeon. These can range from killing all enemies to freeing prisoners or destroying all constructs. Notice how I didn't mention the boss here. This is because not all dungeons will task you to kill a boss at the end. Dungeons can take anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes to complete, and they can be reset if you want to do them again. Later on in the game, these dungeons can be upgraded to Nightmare Dungeons, which will add additional challenges and rewards. The Codex of Power banks all of the legendary aspects you have found when you completed the dungeon they are attached to. This includes the ones from the other classes. These aspects are split into 5 categories: defensive, offensive, resource, utility, and mobility, and the legendary effect always rolls the minimum value that can be obtained. Keep in mind that not all legendary aspects are in the Codex of Power. You will have to find the others and extract them. Extracted aspects cannot be banked in the Codex of Power. To find out which dungeons have an aspect as a reward, they have a little box icon next to them. Hover over them to find out which aspect that dungeon has, so you know how to target which powers you want. And this concludes episode 4 of our Game Guide series. For the absolute chillest vibes daily, check me out on Twitch. For stellar gameplay and guide videos, check out my YouTube. And while it was a pleasure being your host the past few guides, all things must come to an end. See you in Sanctuary.
Pues ni tan mal, la verdad que está bastante bien. La verdad que está bastante bien el tema del desafío, el tema de las emboscadas, el tema de completar más de 100 mazmorras que tiene. La verdad que, poca broma, toda la cantidad de contenido que va a haber en este juego, ¿eh? Pues nada, gente, espero que os haya gustado este vídeo. Dale a like, suscribiros al canal, activar la campanita para más, compartir el vídeo. Ya sabéis que estoy subiendo todos los días 3 vídeos diarios, así que dale bastante caña. Os dejo las redes sociales en la descripción para que me sigáis. Y el botón de miembro y el botón de gracias está activado para que apoyéis directamente el canal. Nos vemos en la siguiente. Adiós.